Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sean or Mustang09 bringing you a brand new video, and as you can tell by that intro, I have a new toy. I officially am the owner of a Mavic Pro drone from DJI. This thing is ridiculously fun. It's so sick, and if you're not familiar with it, this thing has so much capability to it. It's amazing, and I can't wait to see what we can do with it with the cars and reviews and events and just all sorts of things. It's gonna add so much depth to my videos now and just be able to bring that other dimension of I guess seeing it from the sky, a bird's eye view, so to say. So I'm really excited to learn this thing better, bring you guys a ton of shots, and just see what we can accomplish with this thing. This is a close-up look at the DJI Mavic Pro. It's a very compact drone. It's 4K capability. The remote is super solid. You stick your phone down in the bottom there and it just works flawlessly. If you guys have never seen this thing before, this is how small it gets. It's literally held in your hand. If I had a big enough pocket, I could stick it in there, but it's just a very compact sized drone, and it just does so good for its size. And I can't get over how cool these shots you can get from this thing. This thing's still fairly new to me. As you can tell from the drone itself, there's still the manufacturer stickers on it and on the screen. I'm just a little nervous to take all those off. It just looks cool to me with them on there, but I do need to get rid of those eventually. Gonna have to change up my filming location as the city mowers just arrived to mow the baseball field I was at, so 1 second. Alrighty, now that we're away from those mowers, I do want to talk about how long I've owned the drone. It's only been a couple of weeks, and I've only been able to do like a handful of flights. For whatever reason, I get really cautious and nervous when flying this thing, which I don't think is a bad thing, but I do think it limits me on some of the shots that I'm curious of getting. I've done a lot of drone like law lookups just to make sure that I'm not breaking any laws, and it's kind of common sense where you can fly them and where you can't. So I'm not a legal advisor, so I'm not going to tell you where you can and can't. Go do your own research, but just no cars and people. That's a couple of good tips. I do want you guys to know that I did purchase the drone before I hurt the Mustang, and so that's not cutting into the funds of what it's gonna take to fix the Mustang. If you watch my last video, you know I had an accident and I dropped the car, or the car fell off of the jack and dented one of the fenders. But we do have a fix. There is a solution in play, and I wanna give you guys an update on that now. Okie doke, so as you guys can see right here, let me pull it out for you. This is a new fender from Ford. I was able to pick that fender up for 250 bucks, like plus tax, like 250 out the door, which was still cheaper than some of the other retailers for those fenders. And I was able to get it straight from Ford. Little piece of advice is if you're gonna buy parts, like factory parts for your car, check with Ford online first, fordparts.com. The last 2 times I've had to buy parts from there, they've actually been cheaper than going straight to the dealership. And some of the other third parties for this Mustang, I really wanted to get something that was Ford stamped and it wasn't a third-party name on it. This is actually a Ford part, so it's got the warranties, and I know it's gonna be right. That's mostly what it's for, is that it's gonna align like it should, and it's gonna have the correct mounting holes and all that jazz. By going through fordparts.com, I was actually able to save, I think, 50 or 60 bucks on this fender as opposed to buying it from the dealership and from a third-party vendor. So what happens is when you buy it online at Ford, they send it to the dealership, and I think they give the dealership some of the money from it so that they recoup some of the cost when they sell it to you, because obviously Ford sells it to the dealership and the dealership marks it up and sells it to the consumer, so they're making money on top of it. By going straight through Ford though, you're getting that pricing, or at least that's the way the guy at Ford described it to me. I didn't think that I was gonna have to get a fender repainted, and it was kind of the last thing that I wanted to do. But some of you guys may know, I've got a buddy, like I said in my last video, that does body repair and performance shop, but his schedule is so packed that he doesn't know when he's gonna be able to get me in, and he really doesn't do a lot of collision stuff. He mostly does like restorations and that sort of thing. So this is kind of small potatoes for them, if you would like to say that. They don't really deal too much with that. So I think in order for me to even get his hands on it, it's probably gonna be about a month. And so I'm a little too impatient for that. He hasn't really quoted me a price, and I'm kind of scared of what he's gonna come back with. And I know he is a buddy, but I do wanna pay him. If your life lesson here, if you have friends that do good work, pay them for their work, please. Don't let them do it for free, even if they ask you to. Give them something. Whether it be cash or gift cards for their spouse or just them to go out and enjoy a dinner and a movie or something. Make sure you reimburse them in some sort of way, even if they tell you, nah, it's not needed. It's just, it's a sign of good faith. Beyond that though, I was able to call Ford Collision, the same place, the same dealership I bought the fender at in Arlington, and got a quote for them just to paint the fender. I'm gonna replace it on the car. I'll take the screws out and put it on and all that jazz. I just simply need them to spray the paint. And I got a quote on that of, I think it was $190. So, and they can get me in next week. So I'm thinking I'm gonna drop that off this weekend, and then they'll be able to have it painted. And while I'm out of town, it's gonna be getting done. And then when I get back, I should be able to pick it up and be able to put it on the car, and everything will be good as new. Hopefully. You guys have seen how my install videos go, so I'm praying that there's no issues putting this thing on the car. That's the update, guys. I just wanted to keep you in the loop of the Mustang fix. It looks like it's gonna happen sooner rather than later, which is a good thing in my book. I'm totally stoked about. And if you guys are pumped on this drone, let me know in the comment section below. If you've seen some people with cars do some cool stuff with the drone, let me know. I'm definitely interested. If you have a drone and you got some tips for me, I would love to hear them. As always, I'm always learning and willing to learn from others, especially who have experience. If you like what you saw, leave a thumbs up. If you got a question or a comment about anything in the video, leave that down below in the comment section. I want to hear from you guys, especially when it comes to like drone stuff or fixing cars. I don't know, what have you been doing this week? Let me know. I'd be interested to hear about it. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe. New videos every Monday and Thursday at 4:30 Central Standard Time, every week on the dot without failure. Sometimes maybe, but you get the point. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you boys back here for the next video. As always, it's been Sean or Moostang 09. Take it easy, boys.